Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, Senator Risa Hontiveros calls for tighter border control among countries to stop human trafficking. Also, when will former OFWs from Saudi Arabia finally get their unpaid wages? And will the government lift the deployment cap for healthcare workers? Migrant Workers Secretary Susan Toots Ople joins us in the program. The World Boxing Council is stepping in after a retired referee admitted to helping Manny Pacquiao win a super bantamweight title about 22 years ago. In an exclusive interview with our sports desk anchor Andre Felix, Pacquiao broke his silence on the issue. Here's the report.
Former Australian boxer Nadal Hussein will take legal action against retired boxing referee Carlos Padilla after Padilla claimed he cheated Hussein in his fight against Manny Pacquiao in the year 2000. The 88-year-old Padilla, a Nevada Boxing Hall of Famer, said he allowed Pacquiao to recover by dragging his count when the Filipino fighter hit the canvas in the fourth round.
I'm a Filipino, and everybody's Filipino watching the fight. So I prolonged the count. You know, I know how to do it.
Pacquiao won that fight via a technical knockout. Hussein says he has no beef with Pacquiao, but Padilla's action was nothing less than criminal.
Nothing against Manny Pacquiao. I'm a big fan of Manny, but Carlos Padilla is no more than a criminal. That's what he is. He's a criminal. He did a criminal act. He violated the rules. He manipulated the rules, and he should be accountable for what he did. Take him out of the Hall of Fame.
Hussein's camp says they're open to an exhibition rematch with the 8th Division champ.
Listen, I mean, it would be great for Skinny to have this opportunity to earn some money because he deserves it. I mean, what he went through in the Philippines and what he done then was, he done everything he was supposed to do.
Padilla's eldest daughter appealed for understanding, saying her father is a decent and honorable man who stood on top of the ring with legends like Muhammad Ali, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Thomas Hearns. Susie Padilla Tuano says her father's words may have been taken out of context. The World Boxing Council is already investigating the matter. For Pacquiao, footage from that fight would show no irregularity in Padilla's calls. He says officiating rules ensure decisions on the ring are fair.
Wala namang masamang ginawa doon yung referee doon. Tama naman yung ginawa nila. Kaya lang nag-delay doon dahil ayaw din makinig nitong si Hussein doon sa mga instruction ng referee.
Pacquiao also advises Hussein to respect the decision and just move on. But on the possibility of an exhibition rematch, the Pac-Man had this to say.
Active pa naman ako sa larangan ng boxing. Di bumalik siya para malaman niya.
That was Andre Felix reporting. A lawmaker wants transport officials to address the issue on the shortage of beep cards sold in train stations. Senator Grace Poe says the DOTR should shed light on the shortage that have pushed many to buy the beep cards online despite its heftier cost. Poe says billions have been allocated to modernize the railway system, and yet it is moving backwards from digitalization. Amid the lack of stored value cards in railway station, beep cards were recently made available in online stores, but at a steeper price. Back in August, the DOTR warned of a shortage in beep cards, citing limited global supply of microchips needed for production. The DOTR also said it eyes launching a new payment scheme that will tap QR codes, bank cards, or smartphones. Meanwhile, beep operator AF Payment shoots down claims that it has been profiteering from higher sales online. AFPI tells CNN Philippines beep cards sold in train stations are already government subsidized. It also notes that AFPI has long been selling beep cards at a higher price outside of railway stations due to other costs, including distribution and taxes. AFPI also explains it decided to sell stored value cards online due to customer demand.
The reason why the prices are different outside of rail is that it's no longer covered by the concession agreement, which means that we are allowed to recover our costs. So we are selling these cards online as a response to the clamor of our customers. In fact, this was brought about by the series of customer surveys that we've conducted, and there is a demand to make the cards available because we now operate outside of NCR.
Beep cards are also being used as mode of payment in select buses and modern jeepneys. Agriculture and trade officials sat down with key groups to discuss the rising prices of food and other basic commodities. Trade Secretary Alfredo Pascual says it may take them beyond the holidays to evaluate whether it can grant the price hike being requested by manufacturers. Carrie Cator tells us more.
The government is monitoring the supply of red onions as prices rise. Agriculture spokesperson Christine Evangelista says they plan to ramp up the distribution of cold storage facilities next year to arrest the higher costs. Officials say supply is being kept by traders, so one way is to provide cold storage facilities for farmers.
What's missing in the market is information. Kuminsan, ang daming supply sa isang lugar, sa ibang lugar, wala. Tapos yung price uneven. Kailangan magkaroon ng information system para nakakaalaman ano ba ang supply sa market. Ilan ba yung mga inventory na nasa mga freezer.
The DA is still reviewing the possible importation of red onions, but as much as possible, the agency wants to beef up local production.
Ang ating mga farmers po, they planted both red and white this time. Then we believe na diliit po, if not totally eradicating, the need to import. Because if we can produce what we need, then definitely ang priority po natin ay ating mga magsasaka.
While more supplies are expected once farmers harvest their produce by the second week of December. Meantime, officials saw a slight decrease in fish production, partly because of the costly fuel. The DA assures there is enough supply of agricultural goods until the end of the year. Earlier, manufacturers also sought an increase in prices of other basic necessities. Whether that will happen soon, Trade Secretary Alfredo Pascual says,
Given the process we want to go through, it may take us beyond the holiday season to do the evaluation. So most likely we'll come out with the suggested retail price after or by early January.
About 55 stock-keeping units requested for price adjustments, including canned sardines, milk, bread, soy sauce, and salt. Carrie Cator, CNN Philippines.
Senator Risa Hontiveros calls on the government to impose stricter border controls to ensure the safety of overseas Filipino workers. This comes after her expose on a human trafficking scheme where Filipinos have been fooled into going to Thailand for employment, only to end up in Myanmar to become crypto scammers. Hontiveros also wants rapid coordination among various government agencies to bring home Filipinos trafficked to other countries and to work with other states in ending human trafficking. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Migrant Workers Secretary Toots Ople. Secretary Ople, welcome back to the source. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, good morning, Pinky. Always a pleasure.
So, Secretary, since yung expose po and revelation of human trafficking to certain Southeast Asian countries, meron pa ho ba kayong natatanggap na any additional information o sumbong regarding this?
Well, I think we still have some workers left in Myanmar, and we're coordinating with the office of the of course, with the Department of Foreign Affairs and the office of Senator Risa Hontiveros about this. Meron din tayong cases referred by the DFA to the DMW involving victims of the same kind of illegal operations sa Cambodia and Laos. And we have assisted those workers that we were able to bring back home, again with the help and in partnership with the DFA.
Right. So these are the countries that you've mentioned in your past interviews, ano po, Secretary Toots, Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia. Meron pa hubang iba na nalalaman nyo? Any additional information about any other countries that may be involved as well?
Sa ngayon yung tatlong bansa pa lang, Pinky, but the difficulty really is getting information kasi as you know, illegal recruitment ito and forced labor trafficking as well kasi yung once hawak na sila ng mga sindikato, ang hirap din mabawi um, because of the nature of the operations of these syndicates.
Yung pong the countries that have been mentioned, Secretary Toots, has there been any coordination with them? I do remember an interview of yours, I believe on radio. Sinabi mo nga kasi ang nangyayaring modus, siguro just to, again, balikan po natin yung modus mula po Pilipinas, pwedeng dalhin sila sa iba't ibang lugar. Pwede pa nga, meron pa kung sa Zamboanga or to Thailand, from Thailand to Myanmar. Pero masalimuot po yung dinadaanan na pagbiyahe ng ating pong mga kababayan. Let's take for example Myanmar. I think that's where you said that meron silang tinatawag nga quote techno hub kung saan sila dinadala at nagbumuka pong call center yung itong tinatawag na in quotation marks techno hub. How does this work in terms of trying to communicate with the country involved para po isumbong na itong nangyayari sa kanila mga bansa at meron po mga Pilipino na nandun na pinagmamalupitan?
Well, Myanmar is a special case kasi alam naman natin yung political and security situation sa Myanmar. Kaya nga since I think it was May of this year, parang maaga pa lang Pinky, nag-issue na kami ng suspension ng deployment to Myanmar based na rin sa alert level na inimpose ng Department of Foreign Affairs. So that's one major problem. Sinong kakausapin? Sino ang wala naman functional na civilian government doon. Second, yung technoparks nasa mga liblib na lugar. Ang kwento ng mga victims, nakausap ko sila ng personal, ang sabi nila sa akin, from parang ang landing nila is a small airport outside of Bangkok. Traditionally kasi, isipin mo, Bangkok, and then that's where you work. Kasi, di ba, that's the commercial capital of Thailand. Sa kanila, dinala pa sila sa northern Thailand, and then from there, may drivers that took them on an 8-hour journey to cross the border into Myanmar along a lake or a river. So may tinawid pa sila na ilog. And nag-trekking pa sila. So yung mga technoparks, nandun lang sa tabi ng mga borders na yan.
Right. And so far, how many have been rescued, Sec Toots?
Well, sa records namin, ang nakalagay 40, I think 41. But I heard from the DFA na may mga naiwan pa raw. So, you know, we are more reliant sa DFA when it comes to getting these workers out. Kami, ang role namin, yung information dissemination, para hindi madagdagan pa yung mga biktima. But in negotiations with the governments, with other stakeholders, with international organizations, especially when human trafficking is involved, yan ang purview ng DFA. Especially now.
So, but you said earlier that 41 have been rescued so far. Would you be able to tell us saang mga bansa po na rescue yung 41?
Yeah. Yung 41 victims doon yan sa Myanmar. All those that I mentioned na 41, let me check. It's actually 45. And yung 45 na yan, lahat sila undocumented.
Opo. And papaano po yung mga kababayan natin supposed to be that were also trafficked in Cambodia and Laos?
Yes, yung sa Laos at sa Cambodia, I think hindi kasing komplikado kasi we are members of ASEAN. We have good diplomatic ties with both countries. Sa Laos, based sa records namin I think we were able to get we were able to assist 31 victims from Laos and then 22 from Cambodia.
And when you mean assist, Toots, what does that mean?
Psychosocial counseling, financial assistance, and then also the filing of cases against their recruiters in coordination with the PNP.
Opo. So, ibig po sabihin nito, meron pong 45 na rescue from Myanmar. Tama ho ba? And then, there have been 31 also rescued. Tama, would that be the right word, from Laos, and another 22 rescued in Cambodia?
Siguro assisted.
Pero ibig sabihin, napauwi
rescued
po.
Oo. Napauwi natin. Napauwi.
Rescued and assisted. Ito pong sa Laos and Cambodia.
I think what we need right now is to appeal din sa mga families who think their children are being recruited or are there. If they can come to us, either the DFA or sa amin, so appropriate actions can be taken by our government. We have a hotline, 1348, and they can also email repat@dmw.gov.ph.
It's also good to find out, Secretary Toots, meron ho bang na-identify na so far, we're just still talking about Myanmar, Laos, and Cambodia, of illegal recruiters or even agencies? I do understand, of course, from previous reports that they're being recruited through social media sites. Pero meron ho ba kayong meron kayong alam o natunton na individuals, groups, or agencies that are illegally recruiting them?
I think this is more driven by online illegal recruitment. But there were cases na ginamit nila yung direct hiring system. But this was, tingnan ko pito direct hires were recruited by their relatives to work in Cambodia as anong tawag nito? Call center relations agents. So ang lure kasi, itong dapat maintindihan. Ang lure ay yung enticement ay call center agents. So parang dito kasi pag call center agents, alam natin may semblance of legitimacy, ano? Ang dami nating kamag-anak na nagtatrabaho sa call center. So pag ang lumalapit sa Facebook ay ang inaalok call center agents o kaya data encoders, and yung binabanggit na bansa ay Thailand o Vietnam or Malaysia, tapos via Facebook lang lahat. Kasi hindi naman nila kaagad sasabihin na Cambodia o Laos o or Myanmar. Sasabihin mo na nila, Thailand ka magtatrabaho. And then eventually, the victims found themselves on the other side of the border.
Right.
Ganun yung nangyari.
Yeah.
And pag nandun na sila, kasi I was asking the victims nga or the trafficking survivors, can I see your phone? Can I read the conversations between you and the recruiters? Wala na na-scrub na yung phone nila Yun ang unang ginagawa ng sindikato. Kaya I have every reason to believe na this isn't a fly-by-night illegal recruitment scheme. This is really syndicated.
And you mentioned na it seems like it's a Chinese syndicate operating.
Well, that's just based on the testimonies of the victims that I have interviewed. Pare-pareho Google Translate ginagamit kasi hindi nga magkaintindihan. Pagkatapos may threat of punishment pag hindi nakamit ng quota 14 to 16 hours work days, walang pahinga, kinakatok sila sa gabi para mag-umpisa na magtrabaho, yung mental anguish, kasi alam naman nila peke yung cryptocurrency platform eh. And yet they were being used to entice innocent people, no, through dating apps na mag-invest dun sa mga peking platforms na yun.
All right.
So it's really a scam from end to end.
Yes. We'll be taking a very short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Migrant Workers Secretary Toots Ople. Secretary Toots, you've been working prior to your post sa NGO helping our overseas Filipino workers as well. Did this even come as a surprise to you? Kasi sabi nga ng iba, parang sa sine lang nila napapanood ito eh.
I wasn't able to get the audio clip. What was it?
Opo, I was saying that sa tagal-tagal niyo po na tumutulong sa ating mga overseas Filipino workers, nagulat ho ba kayo dito sa modus na ito? Dahil sabi nga ng iba, parang napapanood lang ito sa sine.
Yes, bago ito. And I think it's the dark side of the web. Yan yung it's starting to reveal itself through the recruitment of our workers. Ang masaklap dito, ang masakit dito yung ginagamit sila para manloko ng ibang tao dahil dahil sa ugali natin na mabait, mahusay makipag-converse online, and mahusay mag-English. So our best attributes are being used. Are being used against us.
Yeah. Ilan pa po ang would you know needs rescuing?
That would have to be for the DFA
Okay.
to say
All
right
right.
now. Yes.
Siguro on a last note on this topic, Secretary Toots, in the past you've said that it's really important to crack down on ito pong mga measures para po sa illegal recruitment, especially online. While this seems to be a new way of doing it, any progress or what can be done to actually help the public not fall for these kinds of modus operandis or para po maiwasan nilang maloko ng ganito?
Alam mo, Pinky, government we are trying our best, but it's usually after the fact na the decision point is reached by the applicant. And yun ang totoo. Pag nandoon ka sa online, ang kausap mo, recruiter, kayong dalawa lang yon, nasa loob ka ng bahay mo. Hindi katulad ng traditional na illegal recruitment, pwedeng nasa coffee house, pwedeng nasa mall. Madaling matiktikan eh. Ito, ikaw lang at yung recruiter. Kaya kami, nagmamakaawa din kami, nakikiusap kami sa ating mga kababayan. Kahit may katiting kayo na duda, wag na kayong tumuloy. Kasi you also have a personal responsibility sa sarili nyo at saka sa pamilya nyo to get out of harm's way. Of course, we will be there. At the point when you need us most, government will always strive to be there. But your best self-defense is awareness and yung kutob nyo, pakinggan nyo. Kasi that's telling you that, hey, something's wrong, something's not right. And then verify with us.
And siguro, Secretary, I think that's even better to verify. They need to verify it with the Department of Migrant Workers, or maybe they can even call this hotline para malaman kung legitimate ito o hindi. Sabi nyo nga po, kailangan manggaling na rin po sa publiko. Tsaka I guess yung palaging sinasabi po, if you're being scammed, if it's too good to be true, mag-ingat ka na. Parang ganun po. Okay. Secretary, again, sorry, we just need to make another short break. We need to talk about the progress para po yung pagbaya doon sa mga kababayan natin from our OFWs in Saudi Arabia who were not paid their salaries back in 2015 and 2016. We will be right back. Our source today is Secretary Toots Ople. Secretary, a commitment coming from the Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince sa ating mga OFWs na hindi po nakuha yung kanilang mga wages. I think 2015 and 2016, meron na pong commitment na mababayaran sila. Any progress here? Number one, nandyan na ho ba yung pera? And when will they be able to receive this salary or this wage? Yung kanilang sweldo?
Alam mo, yung mga tanong mo, Pinky, yan din ang gusto kong alamin eh. Kasi yung bilateral talks, 20 minutes lang yun and isa lang yan sa mga naging topic. So, I am planning to leave for Saudi Arabia this week. Inaayos na yung aking visa together with my team. So, we can discuss further with our counterparts sa Ministry of Human Resource and Social Development.
Okay.
So I guess all the answers that we all are seeking will have to come from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Right. I think kausap ko din po Sec Toots si Yusek Kakdak recently. Sabi nga nila that even before that commitment by the Crown Prince, you have been also working prior to this. You have been to Saudi Arabia also trying to fix this issue dahil matagal-tagal na pong naghihintay yung mga kababayan natin. But so let's manage their expectations kasi I'm sure marami sa kanilang natuwa, hindi ho ba? So kailangan pa rin po ninyong makipag-usap.
Yeah, Pinky, you are correct. No, it's a very emotional issue kasi these are payments of salaries for services rendered. Talagang may pag-uutang, may malaki ang utang sa kanila ng mga kumpanya. Ang maganda lang is yung sabi ni Crown Prince, government na nila ang mag-shoulder. So, yun ang napakalaking difference. Kasi dito, 'di ba, alam naman natin pag may nag-declare ng bankruptcy, usually yung private company kailangan i-liquidate yung assets. And then, ang haba pa ng pila kung sinong uunahin bayaran.
Totoo.
Dito, after such a long time, no, dating back 2015 nga, 2016, finally, yung Crown Prince na mismo ang nagsabi kay Presidente. And it was, unprovoked. It was parang by the way kind of, nasabi niya, 3 days before, I know we will be meeting each other, so I just want to convey as a gesture of friendship na yun nga, they have set aside 2 billion riyals and they will which will cover the unpaid claims of around 10,000 perhaps more OFWs during that period. So yun lang, I have to go there and may mga bagay Pinky na hindi talaga pang Zoom eh. And this is one of those things.
Yeah.
So I
understand. Opo.
I have to go there and tama ka, alam mo, I told the leaders of these representatives of these workers, kasi may kanya-kanyang Facebook page sila. Sabi ko, the biggest insult I can give is to make bola. Ayoko mambola. Kung ano sasabihin sa akin, that is what I will convey in the name and spirit of full transparency. No more, no less. Kaya may mga nagtatanong sa akin, kailan ba yan? Aabot ba yan na Pasko? Happy ba yung Christmas namin? Lagi ko sinasabi, antay muna ha, chill muna tayo. May ganun pangako, pero ang pera hindi sa atin. Ang pera magmumula sa kanila.
Yeah.
So, hindi natin, may mga proseso din sila.
So kailangan we need to be more patient, at least them, no? I know ang tagal ang kanilang hintay. They need to be more patient and any information or any update, I'm sure manggagaling po yan kay Secretary Toots Ople. Secretary, good luck on your upcoming trip. Sana may good news pagbalik and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Pinky. Always a pleasure. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.